time it is, y'all. Taco homies. Once again.
Yeah.
Dustin plates. Mango Asan. You know how we do. So, did anybody see the fight last night?
Tacos! Fuck 'em! Tacos!
Mayweather Pacquiao.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to say this much. Pacquiao just couldn't get inside on the man.
No.
It was almost a mismatch. Pacquiao had a couple good rounds.
Mm-hmm.
But overall, he just couldn't get to him. He couldn't get to him. I was expecting a lot more from Manny. You know, two good warriors in there. You know, I'm not really a Mayweather fan, but you have to appreciate that the man is undefeated.
That's what I'm saying. 40.
He's a technician. He really is. You know. Mm-hmm. So my hat goes off to both of them. But I was just expecting a lot more from Pacquiao.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like I said, you know, he hit him a few times. You know, he had a couple good rounds.
Good ones, yep.
But, you know, for all the hype and everything, you know, it was kind of like, a little disappointing.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, you got to understand Mayweather's on top of his game. He is what he is. And, hey, he's undefeated. What can you say? What are your thoughts on the fight, my man?
I was somewhat disappointed. I'm not a huge boxing fan, but I have seen some matches, and I kind of tried to figure out their styles prior to watching it, and I understood real quick that, Pacquiao was more of a quick fighter, and he's a strong puncher, and Mayweather is a defensive guy, and the whole thing is like, watching that match, I realized something about Mayweather, like, he bent that ring to his will. Like, some things he did, people are like, is that against the rules? And it might have been a little bit, but some of that shit, like...
A couple of them headlocks.
But he twisted the rules, and my whole thing is, like, anybody can say whatever they want about the match, that maybe Mayweather played a little bit dirty, or maybe he ran around and didn't... let Pacquiao get him.
Yeah.
But my whole thing is Pacquiao could have been doing the same thing. So it's like, it was still a fair fight, I get it. Every time Pacquiao had him in the corner and was getting him, the dude grabs him or he puts him in a headlock or something so that the ref has to break it up. And I seen that real quick, and I'm like, okay, this is what this dude's going to be doing. Like, that's brilliant. He's using the rules to his advantage. And... but Pacquiao could have been doing the same shit. There was a couple times when, he had Pacquiao backed up and he licked him one time just real good. And it's like, Pacquiao could have been, I get it. Pacquiao wants to be the good guy. Mayweather's supposed to be seen as the villain. So, Pacquiao doesn't want to say, do things that are against the rules. But it's, if the referee's going to let Mayweather do it 10 times in the match, I don't see why he wouldn't let Pacquiao do it. I mean, if Pacquiao would have got disqualified for doing the same shit that Mayweather would have been doing, there would have been a riot. So for me, it's kind of like, get over it. What happened. I wanted Pacquiao to win. Yeah. And, I'm sad that he didn't. But it was, it's over with. And, the thing people got to realize is it was the two best fighters of our generation. Mm-hmm. And it'll never happen again. So really, you got to just sit back and enjoy that match. And if you didn't, I'm sorry.
A lot of people, were complaining, it was boring and this and that. Well, true boxing fans know Mayweather's fights ain't all that exciting, But he's a technician, like I said. That's why he's undefeated, So if you were expecting a bloodbath or a good thrashing, that was a wrong match to be watching.
Denzel predicted a knockout. And I'm like, I don't see it happening. Mm-hmm. These dudes are almost seen as equals to a certain extent.
Yeah, no knockout.
So I almost assumed that there was going to be a decision. I just didn't know who.
I said from weeks ago it was going to come down to a decision because, like I said, Mayweather being on the defense.
Yeah.
You know, he's not going to get hit much. He's not going to get hit much. So
my whole thing is, I'm like, Mayweather's personality almost kind of fits how he fights in the ring. Like, everyone was talking about how, you know, Pacquiao's really been pushing this fight for 7 years, and for the last 6 years, Mayweather's been kind of just running away, kind of avoiding him.
Right.
And now the match happens, and what does he do? He kind of avoids him. He gets out of the way.
Yeah.
You know, he twists things, and he bends things, and you know, it's like I said, you know, yeah, there's rules that
it's all psychological.
do that.
You know, Mayweather, he has you to the point where you tire yourself out and get off your game.
Yeah.
So
that's what it does. I can't be mad at the dude. You know, made 9 figures. They both did. You know, so good for them. You know, I mean, if I'm Pacquiao, I'm kind of mad that I lost the match, but I just got $100 million, so I ain't complaining.
Yeah. He was a bit upset after the match.
Yeah, you could tell the dude. You know, he was upset. You know, didn't live up to the hype, and now a lot of people are gonna look back and be like, oh, you know, all that laid back shit that he was doing. Maybe that came against him, you know, doing the selfies, you know, smiling during the stare down.
The selfie. Okay, let's go to that.
Yeah.
I noticed that, you know, he's coming to the ring right there and he's doing all that. I'm like, see now. Come on, man. Focus.
Yeah.
You gotta focus.
Like, history is happening.
You know, this is not you know, wrestling or, you know, some crap like that, you know. I was kind of like, with that one, you know. Don't do selfies. Kind of a bad luck thing. But, hey, it was what it was. $100 later. Not that I put $100 on it, but you know where I was at. Had a good time, you know. Seen some people I ain't seen in a long time. Hung out with my boys, you know. So, yeah, I mean, it's in the win now.
Yeah.
So, as far as boxing goes, it's probably a wrap. You know.
Yeah. Pacquiao said he don't know if he's gonna keep fighting or not. Mayweather says
Mayweather one more, you know, and
so
we're gonna see what happens. You know, maybe, hopefully, we can get the heavyweight championship back into the States.
Yeah.
You know, get the heavyweight division back breathing because there's nothing at all. So, well, I mean, that's pretty much it.
That's really it.
So, next week, we got a few things we're going to do, you know. A few things we didn't talk about this week that we'll talk about next week. And whatever happens, you know, the NBA Finals is cracking.
Yeah.
Oh, not to mention, let's mention this. Last night, the Spurs and the Clippers.
Yes.
Chris Paul.
Yes.
Proud of you, man. I was saying the Spurs was going to do it. I'm eating crow right now. But, yeah. Awesome. Congratulations.
Yeah, I was rooting for the Clippers in that one. And, you know, I'm happy that they won. I always said, you know, you can't count out the Spurs, but I was rooting for the Clippers the whole time. And, you know, when it got to be, you know, 4 minutes left and it's a tie game, I'm like, oh, the Spurs are going to get this one. No.
Yeah.
You know, I'm sitting there.
I was rocking.
But, yeah, I'm like, man, like, I got 2 TVs set up. One that's got the fight going. Because it was like the second fight of the night. It wasn't even the Pacquiao fight yet. Yeah. Mayweather fight. It was the second fight of the night. And I got the Clippers-Spurs game. And I'm like sitting there like, okay, and I'm like, oh, man. And I had to mute this one. I'm like, I'm watching this one. Like, okay, what's going on with the Clippers and the Spurs? And they pulled out the winner. I'm like, good for them.
Yeah.
You know, I don't want them to go any further, though. That's it. Stay right there. Because I don't want them putting up a banner in the Staples Center. I just don't. You know, I didn't want Tim Duncan to get his 6th championship ring. All right, him and Kobe can be tied. I'm happy with that. I can respect that. And you know, I don't want to see the Clippers win. So you know, it's that. So yeah, doing the bitch ass of the month tonight. So first week of May, we're doing the bitch ass of the month. Yeah. So stay tuned and yeah, next show, bitch ass of the month coming up.
Taco homies. Dustin Plates. Mango Aside. Once again, tune in next time. We out.